So I'm on my way now to Wasdale and to Scafell, and I'm going with Tomek. Tomek's my chauffeur today. There you go, having recently passed his test. So I don't get to drive, which is an unusual experience. But we're going down to Scafell to take part in something called Green Space Dark Skies, is that right? Yes, Green Space Dark Skies. So we've got to be there for midday, and it's going to be taking place until about 10 p.m. this evening. And it's going to apparently be filmed by BBC Countryfile and be on TV later this autumn. That's assuming, of course, the weather's okay. So it's a little bit overcast at the moment. The forecast isn't brilliant for today, so I'm not sure if that's going to affect things. But the idea is we're going to be walking up Scafell Pike, or is it Lingmell, which is next to Scafell, and we're going to be taking part in some sort of, I suppose you'd call it, art installation. We're going to be carrying some globes or lights, and they're going to do fun, creative stuff with that. So I thought I would record it and film it and see how we get on. So we've got about an hour to go before we reach Wasdale.
I had no idea what to expect from this event, so was surprised to see so many cars parked at Wasdale Head. In fact, we were told that 414 people from around the country had travelled there to take part in Green Space's Dark Skies. The whole event was extremely well organised. So we've arrived in Wasdale Head and the place is heaving. Loads of people here. I wasn't sure what to expect, but must be hundreds, and people have come here from Manchester, Sheffield, London and so forth, travelled a huge distance in order to take part in this event. After getting signed in and being allocated a group, we went to the refreshment tent where we were served a fantastic lunch. And after lunch, it was time to begin rehearsals for the main event. So they're about to start the rehearsal, and we've been given these lamps that we're going to be carrying up to the mountain. So my understanding is they are going to light up when we're on the fell, and then they will do the display that they're going to record. Everyone taking part in the event was allocated a particular group to belong to based on a different colour. I was in the yellow group. Each group had its own performance captain who explained the different moves that we would be doing on the fell. Everyone taking part in the event received a radio receiver and were able to listen to the instructions fed through earphones. Here we are seen rehearsing the lava scene that was going to be filmed later that day from the summit of Lingmell. Mark, the director of the event, explained what was expected of us.
Quite a few of us have been working on this, I might have said this earlier, quite a few of us have been working on this for almost a year and a half.
Oh wow.
So to see ideas that we've been discussing and cutting and growing.
So we finished the rehearsal and now we're walking up to Lingmell where they're going to do the filming at sunset. So behind me you've got Scafell and Scafell Pike. Please note the pronunciation of these hills, these fells. Scafell, not Scafell. Scafell Pike, not Scafell Pike. That's how it should be pronounced. I know it's spelt Scafell, but it's actually pronounced Scafell. That's the proper name for these mountains. And I grew up a few miles down the road at the bottom of the lake, and all locals know it's Scafell and Scafell Pike. And if you're wondering about the pronunciation of the name, if you actually look at old Ordnance Survey maps, it used to be spelt S-C-A-W, so Scafell. And in Carlisle, very close to where I live, there is a road spelt that way, pronounced Scafell Road. Behind me is Scafell Pike. Scafell Pike is of course England's highest point, and just next to it is Scafell, just slightly lower than Scafell Pike, but in my opinion Scafell's probably the better of the two summits, simply because it's the quieter, fewer people go up Scafell, whereas Scafell Pike is very busy for obvious reasons, but both excellent climbs and well worth doing. So we're at the Col, and just behind me that's Lingmell, and that's where they're going to be filming this artwork, and the path behind me continues up to Scafell Pike. I mentioned about Scafell probably being my favourite of the two summits. One of the other reasons it's my favourite summit is you've got Lord's Rake, and Lord's Rake is quite a technically complex scramble which you can take, and that's a really fun way to get up to Scafell. You do need to be fairly competent and confident to do that, whereas getting up to Scafell Pike, anyone with reasonable fitness can manage that. The path is nice and clearly laid out, but if you want something a bit more adventurous, then Lord's Rake up to Scafell is a very exciting route. So I'm on the summit of Lingmell, and the cloud is coming in and it's starting to rain, so I'm not entirely sure how they're going to film this art installation using drones, because it's quite breezy as well. Not ideal weather, but anyway, here we are at the summit. Typical Lake District weather. Tomek and I were the first to reach the summit of Lingmell, and we waited as others gathered. Once everyone arrived, our lamps were activated, and it was time to begin rehearsals on the fell side. The first thing that we rehearsed were the giant footprints that would be seen stepping across the fell side. Once we had done this, it was time to rehearse the lava scene, which involved climbing to the summit of Lingmell. Despite the rain earlier in the afternoon, as the evening drew on, the weather conditions improved and the cloud lifted. Timing was of critical importance, as there was only an hour with which to film the whole scene. Here we're seen doing one of the performances directed towards a drone that can be seen flying in the sky. As soon as we had finished the lava scene, we made our way down Lingmell to start recording the footprint scene as we walked across the valley. The vision was to see a lava flow going down the side of Lingmell and then filling giant footprints and seeing giant footprints stepping out across the valley. Here you can see people gathering in their allocated spaces. As well as using drones, they had 5 fixed cameras on the fell side filming the whole event. We were instructed what to do by the director Mark. This effect, shining the lights on the ground and moving them around, was called ghosting. In order to ensure that he got the best shot possible, we had to do these effects a number of times. Seeing the fell side lit up with lights was truly spectacular, and I had a great deal of fun taking part in this event, and I look forward to seeing the final results when it is broadcast on BBC Countryfile later this year.